Yo, what's up? My name is James. Um, I am a multi-genre artist that goes by the name Strawberry Jellyfish. Um, and I just wanted to make a video and tell my story. Um, this is the first time I've ever made a video speaking directly to the camera. Um, like ever, I've recorded a lot of music. I've recorded videos of me performing. I've never made any type of a video of me speaking to the camera, but I was just sitting in my room. I've been thinking about a lot of different things in life lately, and something just told me, hey man, you should maybe just grab the camera and talk. So if you do see this, if anybody sees this, if you will, just for a few minutes, I guess listen to a couple of things that are on my mind, or I guess a little bit about me. Like I said earlier, I'm an artist. That's not what this video is about. Um, I'm on a weight loss journey right now. Um, and I'm not making a lot of eye contact with the camera. I've never done this before. I'm on a weight loss journey right now. I have been a bigger guy most of my life. I'm 6 foot tall, and my body's built in a way where my weight proportions are kind of awkward. When I was younger, let's say 350, 400 pounds, I still was decently athletic, and I was by no means, you hear 600 or 600. You will hear 600, but you hear 6 feet tall, 350 pounds, you think of like a, fighter or something like that, where they're built heavy, tall, and very tight. But that's not me, fat, whatever you want to call it, obese. I've been a big guy my entire life, but when I was younger, smaller, I was still very active, still very, you know, athletic for a 400-pound man. Um, and I knew I needed to lose weight. I knew I should probably be a little bit healthier and everything else, but it was never a problem in my life. I can live with it. The worst part about it was people calling me, a fat ass, whatever. So, and after a while, you get used to that, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as much as something as like, it debilitating you or making you immobile or whatever. Like, people saying shit to you, it's whatever. So, I, about 6 years ago now, made the attempt to move to Kentucky to further my music career. I released an album called The Adventures of Kawaii Baby about 6 years ago, and I've been making music, and I've loved music my entire life, and I've been making music since I was about 17. I've been singing since I was, 13, 12 years old, whatever. But when I was 17, I had a little metal project that was kind of like a duo between me and a friend. And that never really went anywhere. We got drunk and pretended we were rock stars and everything. But about 6 years ago, I started this project, Strawberry Jellyfish, and I really started to take it seriously. And I discovered that I had a talent that I did not know that I had. I could play a guitar, and I could, sing cheesy melodies. If you think, Never Shout Never, if you know what that is, like I was good at singing that type of stuff. And I tried to apply that to a metal project, and it was terrible. It didn't go anywhere. But about 6 years ago, I found out that I could rap and write pop melodies and write really good pop songs that, in my opinion, humbly, but also in the opinion of a lot of other people who've heard my music. And I thought, oh, this is it. This is what I was meant to do. And so I moved to Kentucky. with a friend of mine. Shout out Sammy. Um, I don't know if you'll see this, but there you go. Actually, you know what? Go check out the band Kanashi. Kanashi. Incredible band. Anyways, back to the story. I decided I was going to move to Kentucky with a friend of mine who, you know, has a decently successful career, has had, knows what he's doing, and took me under his wing to help me and everything like that. And we went to Florida within the first week that I was there, and I went in the ocean for the first time. And I was lifted about 6 feet into the air by a wave and slammed to my back on shore. And this affected my body. Long story short, I spent about 6 months not being able to get around very well. And then I came home to Michigan and spent about another year not really being able to get around very well. And next thing I knew, I was bedridden. And I was 718 pounds. And about 4 years ago now, I think, 2 to 4 years ago now, I had heart failure. And was told, I'm going to die, and I needed to change my life and all of this. And I have since, changed my life. But the thing is, it's when you're immobile, when you're bedridden, when you cannot move, when you've got, this fluid retention going from the tips of your toes all the way up to your chest, and you weigh, let's say, take that water weight away, you still weigh 680 pounds. That's a very hard life to live, and it's very hard to get around and do anything. I would walk from my bed out to the car, and by the time I got to the car, I'd be so winded and so in so much pain that I at times would tell my brother, I would start crying, and I would tell my brother, I'd rather my life be over than for it to continue to go on like this. And so what I'm getting at with that is, people look at you and think, oh, you're 700 pounds because you eat a box of Twinkies every day. That's the thing bullies love to, the typical, stereotypical childhood bully of, oh, you going to eat your box of Twinkies, or you're, whatever. And people think it's food. People think that people that are fat are eating themselves to death and shit. And, it's not always the case for people. And so a lot of doctors kind of looked at me like that as well. Well, what are you eating and everything else? And it was a mixture of, maybe I was not eating the right things and not being able to get around anywhere. So anyways, I turned my life around. I went from my ambitions were to be this successful pop star, the successful songwriter, to do tours, to sell albums, to do all this stuff. It went from that to being able to, wishing I could be on stage performing my music for everybody. It went from that to, man, I wish I could get up and walk to the car and not want to die. I wish I could go into a gas station and pump gas for my mom, my elderly mom, so that she doesn't have to do it herself. Like, that's what my ambitions became. I no longer cared about the music and the fame, and I never really cared about the fame to begin with, but I no longer cared about a successful music career. I cared about getting healthy, to spend time with my family, to make memories with my family, and just really my biggest ambition became, I want to move around pain-free again. I want to come back and everything I ever took advantage of, I never thought I was a lazy person. I never considered that I was being lazy at all. And I really don't think that I was extremely lazy, but I look back at a lot of things like not pumping the gas for my mom. And it's like, why wouldn't you, if I'm perfectly well and able, why wouldn't I get up and go pump the gas for my mom? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I take the opportunity to walk, to do whatever, when you don't realize that until you're laying in bed and you can't move at all, So basically my ambitions just became everyday activity. And when you get to that point in your life where you used to dream of being a superstar and now you dream of being able to walk out into your living room and sit down without, feeling like you're going to pass out. When you get to that point in life, a lot of things change. And, when you get to that point of life, a lot of things change, or at least they did for me. Which I guess I'm just kind of talking in a circle right now, but I started to consider all the things I ever had taken for granted and decided, I want to take advantage of those things now. And so I decided that I was going to go do bariatric surgery. And that seemed like my only way out. When I was younger, people mentioned that to me, but I always thought, I don't need to have a surgery when I'm perfectly well and able to, walk around and do as I please and whatever. If I really want to lose weight, I can lose weight on my own. If I want to get serious about it, I can go ahead and get serious about it and do it on my own. And yeah, I'm smoking a cigarette, and I know people probably look at that a certain way and whatever. I'll quit eventually. Anyways, I would always think that is the last ditch effort, like the last resort way out. And I never wanted to do that. Well, I got to a point in my life where I thought that was the last ditch effort, last resort way out. And so I agreed to do it. And it was a long process of going to see surgeons and nutritionists and stuff like that. And actually, after my first meeting with a surgeon, he hooked me up with a nutritionist, and she put me on this diet, just a keto diet, essentially, low carb, high protein. And I did that diet for about 60 days, and I went from 718 pounds to today I'm 570 pounds. And after I lost that weight, I went and met with another surgeon, and he was talking to me about experimental surgeries and different things like that. And it kind of just clicked to me, like, my life is not anywhere where I want it to be right now, but it is 10 times better than it was when I was 718 pounds. Things are so much different, and I'm slowly getting back into control now. And I'm like, if I lost, I don't even want to do the math on camera, but if I went from 718 pounds to 570 pounds by myself, what's the point? And here's the thing too, with the surgery, there's all these warnings of like, you're already at a high risk to die because of your weight, regardless of anything, regardless of anesthetics or anything like that. You are just, based on your weight alone, your potential for death is higher than a lot of people's, all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, if I'm already slowly getting back into control of things and I'm already losing weight on my own, I know how to do it now. Why risk my life going under the knife where there is a chance that I don't wake up just to try and fast track to losing weight, when I can just put in the hard work myself and I can lose the weight myself. That way, if I'm gonna die, it's not gonna be until much later. And I kind of made a deal with myself of like, if I can't make the progress on my own, let's see where I am 3 to 6 months from now. And maybe then I'll consider, getting this surgery or whatever. But I've been telling myself that for several months now. And every month I'm losing more and more weight. So this video is basically an introduction to me, an introduction to my weight loss journey. I don't know if anybody's going to see this and ride with me and whatever, but I just wanted to put this out there into the world. I'm not going to do any reveals or anything like that. Obviously, I haven't lost a lot of weight. If I was to show you a picture of myself at 700 pounds and a picture of myself now, it would not look very different, even though the weight loss does sound to be a lot. Hold on. I don't know how to really edit videos or anything like that, so everything's going into this. Even earlier, you're going to notice a little cut in the middle of the video. It's because I was running out of time and I had to delete some stuff off of my phone to make more space to continue making this video. But yeah, so if I was to show you a comparison right now, even though the weight loss, 718 to 570, that sounds like a lot. You wouldn't really see it because, with it being such a high number already and, skin and everything else, whatever. I'm not at that point yet where I'm ready to make this big reveal of like, oh, look how much I've done or whatever. But I kind of decided, why not make it a process and get other people involved if they want to be involved, document this journey and everything else. And that's kind of what this is. I don't know how often I'll upload. I don't know what the content is going to be. I don't know if I'll even ever make another video than this one. Besides maybe some type of reveal video 3 to 6 months down the road. But I'm trying. I'm working hard. I'm sometimes going to the gym and working out. I'm always trying to eat good and everything. And I'm trying to turn my life around. And I'm trying to take control of things. And I'm trying to get to a point, which I'm at a point right now, where I do go in and I pay for the gas and pump the gas for my mom now and shit. And that feels so rewarding. Every time I get to, it sounds so silly, but every time I get to go into a store and walk around for more than 15 minutes, it feels so good. After everything I went through, I was bedridden for about 4 years, and it was terrible. It was the worst time of my life. And now I'm starting back at square one. I do plan on releasing a second album sometime in the future and making music videos and everything else. But this isn't about my music. I'm not here to promote my music. This will be on my Strawberry Jellyfish channel, because I don't feel like making a new channel for it. Maybe I will. Maybe if this doesn't do well on my Strawberry Jellyfish channel, maybe I'll make a dedicated page. But I think I'm just going to chill out with the music stuff right now, even if I am working on music, privately or behind the scenes or whatever. I think I'm just going to chill out with the music stuff right now and document my journey, and maybe continue to make videos of maybe next time I go to the pool or something like that, or next time I make one of these weird high protein meals, I can record that or something. I don't know. If you see this and you are hearing me out and you're interested and you want to see more and hear more, if you have any questions, any suggestions, if you want to call me a fat piece of shit, whatever, my comments are open. Nothing's gonna faze me. I mean, maybe you'll find a way to faze me, but I'm not worrying about that. I'm all about positivity. That's another thing too, is I'm all about positivity. But you're welcome to do whatever you want. Whatever makes you feel good. The comments are open to you. And especially if you have questions, suggestions, anything like that, where you want to see this go from here. But I'm down like 150 pounds right now, and I plan on keep going. I plan on making another video to let everybody know, or to let nobody know, that I'm down another 50 pounds very soon. I don't know. There'll probably be things that I'll think about later. I'll probably be in my room and think, damn, you should have said this in the video. And then maybe I'll write those things down. I don't ever want to have a script or anything. I really just, maybe I should. But as of right now, what's going through my head is I'm just going to come and talk to this camera. And then, I'm going to go on a editing app. I'm going to put the 2 videos together and I'm going to throw it up on YouTube and see what happens. I mean, I'm not expecting anything to happen. This just felt like what I needed to do. So if you see this and you waste 20 minutes of your life watching and listening to me speak, and you think you're interested in my story and everything and want to hang around, let me know. Maybe subscribe, whatever. But yeah, I guess that's all I really needed to say. There will be more. There should be more. Maybe there won't be more. I really don't know at this point. I've never done this before. So maybe, you're watching this right now and you want more, and I will put out more. But until then, I guess thank you for your time. Thank you for hearing me out. And I hope you're here to rock with me on this, because I need to take control of my life. I need to better my life. I need to make all of my dreams come true, starting with the smallest possible ones, even if that's just doing something, getting healthy and doing something special for my family. And then maybe later down the line, finding success in my music. But anyways, until I upload again, thank you. And yeah, I don't know. Peace.